the knowledge of reality's incompleteness. It's an awful burden. Goddell starved himself to death. He saw the world in a new way and couldn't stand it. It changes you, makes you into something you never imagined you could be. Quote, Doom, the fate of the ultimate Fantastic Four. Doom's years of torture at the hands of the Maker finally catch up to him in this secret history of the real Reed Richards, and tensions rise among the Ultimates when Doom might be more fixated on recreating the life he should have had than the life he's got. Ultimates Volume 4, Issue 4. A diabolical genius known as the Maker used time travel to create his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero and by establishing a secret council of supervillains, the Maker's Councils, that rules the world from the shadows. But now the Maker is gone, locked away for the next 16 months by inventor Howard Stark. Howard's teenage son Tony has taken on the codename Iron Lad and begun recruiting a network of heroes to fight back against the Maker's Council and prepare for the Maker's return. Instrumental in sealing away the Maker and forming this new team with Iron Lad is Doom, the broken shell of a man once known as Reed Richards, who was kept inside the dome and uncovered the Maker's secret, though not that the Maker is himself the Reed Richards of another universe. The first person recruited by Iron Lad to form the new Avengers, the new Ultimates, was Reed Richards, now known as Doom. Once a brilliant mind and a hero in the making, Reed is now a broken shell of his former self, kept captive by the Maker. While Doom managed to uncover some of the Maker's secrets, he never realized the Maker is actually Reed Richards from another universe. This is a tragic tale of how the world never got the Fantastic Four, but instead witnessed the rise of Reed Richards as Doom. In this video, we explore 4 different panels, each showing a distinct moment in time. The first panel depicts Reed Richards excelling in school, far surpassing his peers. The next showed Sue, Johnny, Ben, and Reed all suited up for the mission that could have made them the Fantastic Four. We then skip ahead to see Doom, Reed Richards observing the Fantastic Four, followed by present-day Doom conducting experiments as Iron Lad arrives. Our approach is to unify these moments into a single cohesive story rather than jumping between narratives. Panel 1 story, Reed Richards excelling. At the university, a professor asks, "What is the 4th dimension? Can anyone tell me?" The only person raising his hand is Reed Richards, who is clearly younger than all the other students and obviously the smartest person in the room. Next, we see the first meeting of Reed Richards and Ben Grimm, who are roommates. Reed, just 13 years old, tells Ben, "I'm mature for my age." We then witness the first meeting between Reed Richards and Susan Storm. They shake hands and it's clear there's an immediate connection between them. Finally, we see Reed Richards brimming with ideas, saying, "The world is ready for big transformative ideas again. Isn't that why you put this project together in the first place? Isn't that why we're all here?" Reed Richards continues, "With the readings we take from the center of the cosmic storm, we'll be able to see the universe in entirely a new way. We'll be able to see ourselves in entirely new way." Sue Storm looks at him with amazement. Next, there is a meeting between Johnny Storm and Reed Richards. Johnny says, "So this is the guy my sister won't shut up about. You're Reed, right? The director of the project." Sue Storm's dad steps in and says, "No, you have been spending money at an absurd rate. As a director of the project, it's my job to bring you both back to Earth." A security personnel checks Reed Richards and says, "This is a scheduled review of your security clearance. Dr. Richards, it's only a formality. Have you done anything in the last 6 months that would jeopardize the secrecy or success of this project?" Then we see Ben Grimm saying, "I never thank you for getting me on this project, Reed. I always want to do something important. My grandpa flew planes in the big one against the Nazis, and my pop flew against the Euro-Asians. And now, thanks to you, I get to fly too." The next scene shows Reed Richards and Sue Storm falling in love. The panel depicts Reed Richards doing the calculations over and over again to ensure there are no mistakes. Sue Storm's dad then says, "They're shutting down the project. You're wildly over budget and failing safety inspections. The board of directors doesn't see the practical applications." Reed Richards gets mad, saying, "They can't do this," but the Maker starts to get involved, weaving the deceptions so that the first family, the Fantastic Four, will never be. At a bar, Reed Richards says, "This was years of my life, years of our lives. I won't let them do this to us, not when we're so close. Are you with me?" He asks Sue Storm and Ben Grimm. The crew was supposed to be 9, but they'll need at least 4 to run the ship's basic operations. Reed Richards then asks, "What about your brother Johnny?" Johnny replies, "Yes." And then there were four. As Ben Grimm picks a lock, he says, I used to run with a gang when I was a kid back on Yancey Street. What can I say? I was very mature for my age. Reed Richards asks, still with me, Sue? The four suit up as Reed Richards says, there's nothing to worry about, darling. Once we come through the storm, we'll be heroes. I'm sure of it. There's no going back now. The four of us are about to make history as a rocket is ready to launch. Panel 2, story, the mission. Sue asks, is it time, Reed? Yes, sure, it's time. Reed replies, as in the other versions, there was a miscalculation by Reed Richards. Reed says, I wish I had time to check my calculations once more, but if we want to get the readings from inside the cosmic storm, it's now or never. As Ben takes the rocket up, the rocket blasts off and Reed Richards says, we're almost there. We should be reaching the storm any minute. But then Reed realizes he made a mistake in his calculation. Just as Johnny bursts into flames, they all come crashing down in the capsule. We then cut to Sue Storm's dad, and a general says, you three just destroyed a $10 billion project and broke 100 laws of the North American Union, not to mention getting a minor killed. We're still working on exactly how to classify the top secret nature of the facility, but you are all going to jail for the rest of your lives. Sue Storm's dad, not caring about himself, says, that's my daughter. The Fantastic Four, the first family in Earth 616, but 3 out of the 4 members met their death. Johnny Storm was burned alive, engulfed in flames due to a miscalculation. Then we turn to Ben Grimm. Reports confirm that a body found at the bottom of an abandoned quarry was that of disgraced test pilot Benjamin J. Grimm. Investigators are ruling that the death a suicide, but was it truly a suicide, or did the maker have a hand in it? We see Ben Grimm surrounded by rock, having jumped from a mountain. Next, we go to Sue Storm. Sue wanted to say goodbye to Reed Richards, who's in handcuffs, but Reed can't understand why. Sue father explains, the stray cosmic radiation from your joyride, it tore our cells apart. There's nothing we can do but watch her fade away. You killed my children, Richards. I cursed the day I saw your face. With no Fantastic Four, many heroes were left without the inspiration of the first family. Spider-Man in his teenage years had many encounters with the Fantastic Four, wondering if he could be a superhero like them. The maker has taken the first family out of the picture. In his prison, Reed Richards is introduced to the maker. The maker does not call him Reed Richards, but instead calls him Doom, saying, welcome to your brand new universe. Reed Richards does not understand what's going on. He wants to know where he is, how long he's been there. Has it been months or just minutes or maybe centuries? The maker's time moves differently, and Reed Richards has quickly aged. The maker taunts him, saying, Doom, 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 I control the fourth dimension. I can squeeze centuries of pain into just a few thin moments. I can make a single conversation last a lifetime. Reed Richards is strapped to a machine as he pleads, please, there's been some kind of mistake. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not this Doom. Reed Richards is being tortured, crying out, there's been some mistake. My name is Reed Richards. In pain, he screams as the maker coldly replies, I am the maker. I do not make mistakes. The maker continues, you make mistakes, don't you, Doom? Mistakes that kill friends, ruin lives, mistakes that blow up in your face. That's you, Doom. Reed Richards pleads desperately, please, please, I'm Reed, please, why are you doing this? As the maker continues his torment, the maker has disfigured and tortured Reed Richards. The maker declares, Doom is your name. I am as sure of it as of my own. Everything you touch, everything you are, everything you love, all Doom except this. And be free. Doom is what you bring. Doom is who you are. Now say it. Who are you? As Reed Richards pleads, the maker tortures him further, cutting into his head and letting gamma-infected rats eat away at him. The maker demands, who are you? Reed Richards has been modified by the maker, the iconic Doom mask over at the form face as the maker asks, who are you? Reed Richards, seemingly transformed, says, I am Doom. The maker is pleased. No Fantastic Four, just Doom. Panel 3 story, Doom, Reed Richards, observing the Fantastic Four. All the events from the previous 2 panels are being watched by Doom and Iron Lad. The Fantastic Four in this universe will never exist as Doom reflects on the past events, his torture, manipulation, and transformation into evil. Doom says says to the Iron Lad, you have to think in the fourth dimension if you want to change the world, Iron Lad. We have a time machine. We can fix it. Iron Lad responds, we'll have to save the world some other way. No more time travel. The Immortus engine is off limits. Got it, Doom? The Immortus engine is a time machine used by the Maker to reshape the history of Earth 6160 in his own image. The exact origins of this device remains unknown due to the brain damage the Maker sustained from an attack by the future warrior Kang. Doom touches an orb which sizzles as it displays the events of the previous panels. He watches as the rocket ship is launched and realizes the miscalculation he made. He then sees the death of Johnny Storm. Doom notes that mixing events before disabling the Maker's temporal shields is out of reach for now. There are high walls around the past. It is not easy to go back in time and change what the Maker has done, seemingly killing 3 out of the 4 members of the Fantastic Four. Doom puts his hands on the screen as he watches the capsule landing. Doom further reflects the Maker's work is not so easily undone as he picks up a gun and tries to destroy the screen, showing the death of Ben Grimm, likely caused by the Maker. He then sees the death of Sue Storm. These are traumatic events that this world's Reed Richards has endured, and despite everything, he still wants to be a hero and stop the Maker. Iron Lad says the past is off limits. Doom replies, for now, as he takes a hammer and tries to destroy the image of Reed Richards being tortured and turned into Doom. He swings, but the hammer breaks, not the screen. In frustration, Doom slams his hands in torment, remembering the pain he endured, how his face was mangled and disfigured. He smashes his hands so hard they bleed. Dropping to his knees, Doom pleads for the images to stop. He apologizes for all the mistakes he has made and says he is trying, and I will never stop. What fortitude by Reed Richards. After all this, he won't stop going after the Maker. Panel 4, story, present day Doom conducting experiments. Iron Lad arrives calling out, Doom, Doom, are you in there? Doom is engrossed in the experiments. Without looking up, Doom responds, yes, I am here. Iron Lad, slightly frustrated, says, you missed another mission. We really needed you. If it wasn't for America, Giant Man would be dead. Iron Lad asks, what happened to your hands? Doom replies, I injured them in an experiment. Iron Lad then asks, what have you been doing, Doom? Doom responds, I suffer from periods of extreme despair. During these times, it feels as though I'm lost in an all-consuming universe where there is nothing is possible. I call it my negative zone. Iron Lad says, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Doom, but that's no excuse. Doom nods and says, I understand. I will try to communicate better in the future. Iron Lad suggests, if you want someone to talk to, my dad made me this thing as a kid. Doom cuts him off, saying, work on Project 4 continues, as we discussed. Iron Lad replies, still, I thought you would have moved on by now. Doom, burdened by his past and the pain caused by the Maker, says, I bend cosmic forces to my will, Iron Lad. Extreme precautions are required to avoid unnecessary loss of life. Careful means slow. That is what you wanted, is it not? Doom continues, I've been working and progress has been made, as you can see. Doom says, I'm having trouble finding the correct composition and dose of cosmic radiation. The mutations are highly unstable. Doom is using radiation on mice to try to recreate the powers of the Fantastic Four, but he's having problems. Doom continues, saying to the Iron Lad, the mice keep dying. Iron Lad offers, well, I could help, Doom. Doom responds, I've been studying cosmic energy all my life. You do not have the expertise, and this is something I must do on my own. Doom wants to complete the story of bringing a version of the Fantastic Four to Earth 6160. Iron Lad insists, don't be stubborn, Dune. We can't let your ego jeopardize. Dune interrupts. The billionaire boy king pampered since the womb accusing me of ego? Me. It is you who jeopardized the cause with your arbitrary, irrational decision to abandon the Immortus engine and all of time. Iron Lad retorts, not this again. We killed people, destroyed lives. Doom counters, and how many have they killed? How many lives have the Maker destroyed? Iron Lad says, don't lecture me. I've lost. Doom cuts him off. You have lost nothing. You don't know the meaning of the words. Perhaps one day you will, but Anthony, I really hope not. Doom then goes on, I have always felt incomplete, that something was missing. Even as a boy, when I read the Maker's files, I at last saw the shape of this absence, the knowledge of reality's incompleteness in an awful burden. Godel starved himself to death. He saw the world in a new way and couldn't stand it. It changes you. It makes you into something you never imagined you could be. Yes, I would tear this world down stone by stone to make it right again, but it slips through my fingers fingers, so I'm trying things your way for now. Iron Lad tries to apologize, but Doom interrupts. Never mind, when the mice stop dying, the Fantastic Four will return. Iron Lad leaves the room, and Doom says, that would be best. And Iron Lad, please close the door behind you. I have work to do. Doom continues trying to recreate the Fantastic Four, but the mice keep on dying. There are 14 months remaining until the Makers return to Earth 6160. Next, Ultimates, Volume 4, Issue 5.